Hi, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title of the video, 10 things I learned from my first $1 million year in real estate. As I reflected over this past year from my first $1 million year in real estate, there were a lot of lessons learned, a lot of things that I did well, and a lot of things that I wish I would have done differently. So I narrowed them down to just 10, and I also felt like you could benefit from these as well. And I've also noticed that a lot of the videos that I put up are new viewers, so be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Let's get into it. The first thing that I learned, and this is in no particular order, is that reading the books and going to the conferences are great. I promise you that's a great way to learn. But you can only read and go to so many conferences. You're going to learn by doing. And until you actually get into the field and finally get your feet wet, the books and the conferences will only take you so far. It's time for this year in 2025 to get your feet wet, dive head in, and that's the best way to learn so that you can finally start somewhere and continue to scale. Next thing is that contractors run your business, not you. Let me explain. You're only as good as your worst contractor. And before hopping into real estate, I thought that if I stuck to my plan and if I was on my P's and Q's, that the project was gonna go flawless. That's not true. We have to stay on top of our contractors because we are only as good as our worst one. Make sure you choose wisely. That means make sure you have a guy for flooring, paint, etc. Or maybe even take it a step further and have a project manager who literally manages your whole project so that you don't have to be as hands-on. Make sure you choose wisely as you continue to grow and finally get your feet wet in real estate. Number 3 is that it's very easy to find tenants to rent out your space, but it's very hard to find good ones. I learned very quickly that I need to run background checks and check credit scores and approve their income to make sure they had 2 to 3 times the rent. I learned very quickly this way because, especially with today's interest rates, it's very easy and the rent pool has really increased. But we as landlords need to do our due diligence to ensure that the tenant is on their P's and Q's, paying their rent on time, taking care of the home, etc. Make sure that you qualify them before bringing them on board. One of my favorite tools that I utilize is turbotenant.com. They actually qualify the tenants before they even reach me, meaning they'll run credit scores, they'll check their background, and they'll make sure that they confirm their income that exceeds 2 to 3 times the rent. They do all this for me, and that's why it's my favorite tool that I use as a landlord. Before we move into number 4, be sure to comment down below one thing that you learned from your line of work that you plan to improve on this upcoming year. And also, while we're at it, I have one-on-one real estate coaching and the link is in the description. I'm helping plenty of mentees get their feet wet in real estate, and they too are looking to scale their real estate portfolio to one day reach $1 million. I can't wait to see you guys there. I'm definitely here to help. Next up is that you don't need to own 50 plus properties to start building true wealth. Think quality over quantity in this instance. Find 3 to 4 low maintenance deals that are cash flowing well. Cash flowing just means that what you're paying on the mortgage and what the tenant is paying exceeds, maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a month, especially if you go Section 8. In some Section 8 programs, they pay really well. So if you find 4 to 5 of these deals, you can easily surpass $10,000 a month in just positive net cash flow that is also passive income. That's how you start building true wealth. You don't need 50 plus properties to reach that. Again, think quality over quantity. This one is actually really important. You need a business cell phone number. Everybody doesn't need your cell phone number. And look, I've had the same number since 6th grade. Contractors, tenants, property managers, they don't all need your personal number. Your personal number needs to be saved for family and friends. Look, business is business. Family and friends are separate. Be sure to invest in some privacy. Project timelines are on their own timeline, meaning whatever you think the project length is going to be, just add 60 to 90 days to that. This will save a lot of disappointment when it comes to fix and flips, especially. When you buy distressed homes and you hire contractors and they're supposed to renovate the home and then you can finally sell it, they give you a timeline ahead of the project, meaning the contractors might say, hey, look, this is going to take us 90 days. Well, if they say that, just be sure to add 60 to 90. Things come up, depending on weather, if you're trying to replace a roof or materials that maybe aren't in stock. Be sure to plan for these things, and oftentimes contractors do not account for this. They want to tell you what they think you want to hear when it comes to a timeline. Just always be sure to add days so that you can plan accordingly when it comes to your exit strategy. Be sure to take this one just as advice, and that's all it is. But one thing that I learned is that I definitely need a tax guide. The more you earn, the more you need to protect yourself. So make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. The more you earn, the more important it becomes. So make sure you're doing this, especially as you dive deep into real estate. I know I learned my lesson that I will always make sure I have one moving forward. Be sure that you take all forms of payment when it comes to collecting payments from your tenants. Tenants pay in all ways, so that's Cash App, Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo. Be sure that you accept all of these. And in some instances, I'll even take a credit card option. I do charge a 4.5% charge for that, but I do offer it. Don't miss out on money just because you didn't have that platform set up. Be sure to set these all up before you become a landlord. These last two are very important, so listen up. Number 9 is that in order to scale, you need to scale fast. Success loves speed, and that's no exception in real estate. I had a football coach back in the day say, Stevens, if you're gonna make a mistake going 110%. Meaning, if you make a mistake, make it fast. And when you make it right, make it at that same speed. So in real estate terms, if you hire a bad contractor, hire a new one fast. If you find a good deal that's on Zillow.com, make sure you find financing fast. Make sure you do all of these things quickly, because opportunities, there's such a small window for them. So make sure that you're ready when the opportunity finally presents itself. Finally, keep God first. I know that my anchor is Jesus Christ, and there's only one reason why I was able to reach $1 million in real estate this past year, and it's all because of him. I know who my anchor is, and I know that I put my trust in him at all times, because there's gonna be ups and downs. Heck, there's ups and downs in every business, but I know no matter how tough things may get, that he will never keep me down, and I can always rise above. Look, if you made it this far in the video, be sure to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my one-on-one coaching mentorship. This is exactly how you get out of the rat race and level up.